I'm Rose.
I'm Zoe.
And at this point, you all know, or you should know, that we are two 20-something-year-old chronic overthinkers just trying to figure out the world. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Shall we get right into it?
In.
Excellent. Would you like to go first?
With our minor inconvenience,
Yes.
please. Right. So my minor inconvenience at the moment is I keep rolling over my ankle, and I am sick and tired of falling in public. I have fallen in public in the last. I have full fallen twice in the last few weeks, but stumbled on the regular almost every single time I step out the house. And I just.
Have you got an ankle problem?
No idea. The time that I rolled over my ankle, I rolled over my ankle and then I tripped maybe 5 times following in a 5-minute walk.
No.
To the point where everyone was like, "Are you good?"
And you fell to the ground.
Yeah, scraped my knee and everything.
Fully sober, not a drink in you.
I mean, I was hungover for a stretch. Well, no, hungover a stretch, but I had been drinking the night before.
But not
not enough.
You were starting about.
Yeah. No.
Where?
I don't even know how to explain. Near my house.
Oh, right.
It's just
But people saw.
Yeah, there was people around. In fact, last weekend when I fell, it was on the high street.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people fully looked me dead in the eyes. I tried to pull myself off the ground. I was in my Crocs as well.
Were you with people?
No.
Or?
The first time I was with people.
Right.
The second time I just full on fell outside of Sally's Beauty. Yeah. Full on. And the couple that walked past me did nothing to help.
Didn't help.
Didn't even say anything.
That's so cheeky. No.
Didn't even and I it wasn't one of those ones where you just pull yourself up really quickly and pretend it didn't happen. I had no energy, so I pulled myself up really slowly.
No, I would actually prefer that people laughed at me and did nothing. Not even acknowledged it.
It didn't. To be fair, I had my headphones on, but it didn't feel like I was acknowledged, and I was just like,
aww.
I am sick and tired of falling over and tripping over things and walking into door frames. It is relentless. I don't think a day goes by where I don't walk into something or trip over something.
Are you like me? I've got no spatial awareness.
None.
Just battering the stuff all the time. Yeah.
Walking into corners, tripping over things. Done something. The amount of times I was tripping over light stands the other day as well, and I was just like, there is no peace in the world.
No, and it's one of those things that it's so small, but the more times it happens, it's like someone chipping away at you or something, and you're just gonna total flip. But
it is sometimes it can be the difference between me having a good day and a bad day is how many times have I walked in or tripped.
It's not even just walking into stuff and tripping. I knock stuff over all the time. I drop stuff. I drop my phone, I think no exaggeration, for my great height, every single day.
Yeah. Do you know that the amount of times I go to put my key in the door and it just falls to the ground, and I pick it back up and then it falls to the ground again, and I'm like,
oh no,
I'm on the brink. I'm actually on the brink.
And then you put it in the lock and then I put it the wrong way.
This is why I've got so much beef with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
No. That is, I'm totally with you on that one.
I have, however, recently learned what way my key turns, but I don't do it right. I still do it wrong. But I have learned what way I'm supposed to turn it.
Is this a whole righty, tighty, lefty, loosey thing?
No. So someone told me turn it away from where the lock is.
But how do you know where the lock is? Oh no, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That was about to be a stupid question.
So if your lock's on the left hand side, it'll turn right, but if your lock's on the right hand side, you'll turn it left. It depends where your handle is.
But my handle goes that way, right? The lock is into this way.
Yes.
But I have to turn it that way to unlock it.
That's right. You turn it right.
But that's towards the lock, surely.
No, because the lock goes... if you think about a lock in the door, a door has
So this is the door frame, the lock is going here.
Yeah, so the lock goes into the other side.
Way.
The lock goes into the wall. So the lock's on the door frame and then sticks out when you lock it.
Uh-huh.
So when you unlock it, you've got to turn the key back the way towards the door handle.
Oh.
This is what someone told me, and I was like, oh, wow. However,
Still do it wrong.
I still do it wrong. Just depends on the day whether I can be
Yeah.
bothered to think about it or not. But having to repeat in your head, turn it this way, ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's too much. You shouldn't have to think.
No.
It should just be.
So that's my minor inconvenience. I am sick and tired of being clumsy.
No, I'm fully with you. But I feel that's like it shows what's wrong with society, that no one would be like, even if they were to leave you on the ground, but just to give you like a wee like sympathetic smile or anything.
Yeah. It was alright when I was with my family and I felt, cause there was laughter. Do you know what I mean? There was a ha ha ha.
Yeah.
No ha 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 when you're like, and it wasn't even as if it was busy.
Yeah.
The last time I felt, it was like 6 o'clock at night or something. It was like 6:15 on a Friday evening in the middle of town.
They maybe thought you were already steaming.
I was in my Crocs. I think I was in joggies as well. That's not screaming a girl that's out to party.
No. But they maybe thought you were coming home from being steaming all day.
Livid.
It's just rude. It's just rude.
What's your minor inconvenience?
So, well, I recently did a really long drive down to England, and I, on my drive, just jotted down a few notes that could be conceived as like really minor inconvenience. So, one is toll bridges.
Why do they exist?
What is that? What century is this?
What do they actually go towards?
Exactly. But I had envisioned in my head like a man guarding a bridge like a troll. Like I was going to have to pay like a man who was going to give me like 3 riddles. Not quite, but like there was going to be a man.
Why does it have to be a man?
Because fucking a female wouldn't come up with that stupid concept of
I'm a female.
But yeah, or like, have you ever seen like Gavin and Stacey, or the bit in is it Coyote Ugly?
Not seen Coyote Ugly.
Oh,
I've seen
well,
Gavin
there's like
Stacey.
tolls in Coyote Ugly. That's what I had witnessed. But I'm like, in this day and age, why you don't have to pay to get over the border from Scotland? Why just one inconsequential little piece of thing? Why am I having to pay to get through there? And it's only a couple of £, right?
Yeah.
And it's also all contactless. There was nobody there, not a soul. Yeah, not a soul there. There was rows of them.
The fact that petrol stations are just not manned nowadays.
I know.
It's crazy.
Also, that's the dream. I hate having to
And
go.
I know that there's cameras, so obviously like, they take notice of your regi plates. If you don't pay, they're coming to get you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, wild. But yeah, there was rows and rows and rows of them, and obviously I drove up and I thought I'd gotten really close, but went to like out the window and put my card and it was nowhere near it. I had to unbuckle my seatbelt. It was like hanging out the window, still nowhere near it. I had to open the car door and get up. So yeah, and then on the way home, right, this is maybe more niche. This is maybe for the Scottish listeners, right? But you know that one random stretch of road on the dual carriageway between Dundee and Aberdeen that's just like a fucking patchwork quilt? What is that about?
The bit where it just sounds like...
Yeah, like your brain is getting rattled off your skull. For like a solid 10-15 minutes. It's just like they've just dug up and retarred like individual strips of road like for miles, and you're just like, you're driving and you're like, oh my god, my head's being rattled off.
No, it's actually the worst, and I can't turn the music up anymore because I've already got it on full blast. And
you're just like, and you can't avoid it. Like both lanes are like that. You can't go
and
anywhere.
It's also average speed cameras, so you can't like just try go over it fast.
Yeah. It's a weird, like, sort it out. What is going on? What is going on? Like, I know it's what do you call it? It's like the concrete road, and they've redone it with tar or whatever with bits of it. But come on, guys,
it's awful. And they were doing work there for ages for a while as well.
And you thought, oh, right, this is it. They're gonna sort it.
These are really mundane.
Yeah, but like it was just like when I was like, I had been driving for like not quite. Well, I'd been driving for 9 10 hours in total. This was probably like hour 7, 8 of my drive, and I was like, I just want to get home, and I'm being absolutely shuggled about. Like, leave me alone. But yeah, that's my minor inconvenience. Yeah.
Brilliant. Look at us go, just struggling with the general existence of the world again.
Yep.
Well, that brings us on to our Brains Unpicked then. This week we're doing it a little bit differently. We have asked some of our listeners / watchers / friends, family, anyone that would let us speak to them about it, to give us some submissions about either their kind of minor inconveniences or Brains Unpicked or some would you rathers. And we thought each week we will focus on one area. So this week we'll focus on the Brains Unpicked. Maybe next episode it'll be would you rathers, and then minor inconveniences, and rotate that way. Just to give it a go of everything, so that we're not just honing in on our brains all the time.
Exactly. We're so excited. Thank you so much for sending stuff in. We're so excited to unpick other people's brains for once.
Isn't just our own. Our own.
We'll claim it. We'll claim it. It's our owns.
Our owns.
We're owning it.
Okay, so we're going to read a submission each. We've not seen them. Well, I've not seen your submission.
Yeah.
I don't think. And you've not seen my submission. No. I know that you've not seen my submission because I got it through a text just to me.
Yeah. Unless I've hacked your phone, but
do you know what? Please do. Maybe you'd be able to work it, because it is smashed. The fact that that's not my minor inconvenience of the week is crazy.
That's saying to it, yeah.
The falling over is taking. So my phone is smashed. Because I'm just, again, clumsy, but it's been getting progressively worse, and now the screen is just glitching and like
there's actually nothing worse. I once had a phone and I was convinced I was so angry about it, that I was convinced it was like Apple doing their software updates. So it went proper like conspiracy on it. But this phone was glitching so bad that I wasn't even touching it, and it would go into WhatsApp and like keyboard smash, but text people and send it.
My phone is like, I'm going on to WhatsApp and phoning people.
Yeah, which I know.
So I went on to WhatsApp the other day and I was trying to text Rose, and it phoned her, and I don't like phoning people through WhatsApp anyway. I find it so incredibly annoying. But I was trying to hang up, and whilst I was trying to hit the button to hang up, it kept moving me to different apps, so I was just screaming at my phone. Rose picked up,
heard the screaming, immediately thought, oh my god, she's out, she's being murdered, she's being chased. I'm like, oh my god. I
hung up and then I was trying to text, didn't mean to phone, and then you phoned me back. I hung up on that and I was like, I didn't mean that, and you're like, what is going on?
I was like, all I heard was screaming. I honestly thought she was being murdered.
I felt I was being murdered. Yeah,
it's no joke. Yeah, so the fact that I thought that was going to be your minor inconvenience.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, go on.
So, the Brains Unpicked that I have selected is, how weird is it that people see different variations of the same colour? So like if you look at the primary colours, everyone will see them different. So like, what's the real colour? So if you got 10 people in a room and you all handed them the same shade of blue, they're all going to describe that colour differently and what that colour looks like. But it's all the same colour, but we all perceive that colour different. So who's right?
No one.
Like,
yeah.
See, when I got this text, I was like, that's insane.
Literally. But the amount of times that, like, I don't know if it was just like a mum thing, I don't know if this is like universal, but my mum would always be like, that's orange, and everyone else in the room would be like, no, it's pink, and she would be adamant that it was orange, but like everyone else would be like, no, it's pink.
I know someone that has a top that they screams orange, and I'm like, babe, that's pink.
Yeah. So,
because obviously there's people that are colourblind,
yeah,
and that's a kind of different scenario, because they genuinely can't see the colours the same as your average Joe. But like, I've got into arguments with people over whether it's pink or purple or blue.
Yeah.
And like, we're looking at the exact same shade.
And what causes it? Is it our eyeballs, or is it just light, or
it's like that white and blue dress, or black and gold, or like all
what
of
do
those
you
things,
see it as?
black and blue.
Oh no, white and gold.
Oh,
anyway, let's not go down that way. Let's not go down that route.
Let's not go that route. I cannot be bothered. Cannot be bothered with that thought.
I feel like everyone has had this conversation a million times in their life now. But like, how can it be like? Don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
because I think, see, if you look on camera, the colour of these, like if you're watching, the colour of these chairs look really similar.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
One is purple and one is pink.
Yeah.
But they don't look like that.
No.
And I think it is something to do with like, but if you're stood in the exact same spot as someone else, so like say you came to a set and you've got to stand in the exact same X or the exact same footprints and the pictures the exact same frame away, like space away, and who's seeing the right colour of blue?
Or is colour an illusion?
Yeah. I don't know if this is the direction that the listener wanted us to go in, but
I don't know who's seeing the right colour. Is there right colours? Like,
because then there's animals that will see colours differently as well, and that's crazy. They see colours different to us. But it's like, we were talking about this wall, and I started trying to reference like a specific shade that it might be. Yeah,
see, I don't think it would be. What did you say?
Because I think it's some form of duck egg.
But duck egg to me would be much light, like the same undertones, but much lighter than that.
See, this is another thing. I don't understand undertones.
No,
that's when I start getting so confused.
Do you know what I see? Like these videos on TikTok of, people getting their like colour
contrasts, and
I don't understand.
And I think that plays into it. Like it must. Yeah. Like if we wore the exact same outfit, would the colours look slightly different on us because you've got dark hair, I've got purple hair, we're both peely-wally, so that doesn't really make a difference. But
excuse me, I've just come back from holiday. This is me less peely-wally than normal. And that's showing you how peely-wally I normally am. And especially like sometimes like the reactions to the video, like they have like the colour and then they pull it away and they all go, oh, and I'm like, this is the right colour, and I'm like,
it's like same with silver and gold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I literally don't know.
Are you a silver girly or a gold girly?
I'm a silver girly, but I mix it up because I just don't care that much. So for ages I wore a gold necklace, but it was because it was my grand's gold necklace. So I wore it, but I would never wear like gold rings or anything like that. No. Or maybe wear like a gold necklace. Yeah. But other than that, I am silver.
But yeah, I don't know how to answer their question. I don't know who sees.
It's just it is a crazy thought though that like we'll just see colours differently.
Because is that the only thing that we perceive differently? Do we perceive sound differently?
That's age based to understand frequency.
But like, why is that determined by age but
colour isn't?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose do you know what? That's an excellent question that I don't have the answer to.
Not good enough, Zoe.
I've actually got no comment on that whatsoever.
Like, why are some things like,
I am
you're decrepit, you're not going to hear that, and I'm youthful.
I will.
Yeah, but like I could see the same colour the same way as a 90-year-old, but
maybe there is something about the age though. Maybe
we'll get to like the age. I do have an astigmatism.
Maybe it depends whether you've got glasses, whether you don't have glasses.
Maybe I'll get to my mother's age and I will start seeing pink as orange. So
this is like a crazy aspect of it, but like, so say you grew up in a household where you were shown a picture and you were like this, and your parents were like, it's orange, so you just grew up going, that's orange, and then someone comes into your house and goes, oh, that picture's really cool, that's a cool shade of pink, and you go, what do you mean that's orange? Like, is it cultural?
But But I feel like maybe if you were never educated outside of the house, but I feel like if you were then to learn what orange is at school, and then you would come home, and if you were to see orange as orange.
And who names colours?
Who names paint colours?
Or nail varnish colours, or makeup colours? Like, who names all this stuff?
No idea.
Like, if I was to grab my... Oh, it's not there. I had a lipstick somewhere. Who knows where it is now? I'll need to look for that later.
Somewhere in this room.
It was somewhere, and it was in my pocket, and then it got lost in my pocket, and I thought it was on this floor.
It might be under my chair. I feel like it might be, but I'm sorry. I can't be bothered.
Princess and the Pea situation. Anyway, that wasn't the point. I was going to read the name of it, but obviously if I don't have it, I can't. But like the Biab that I get put on, they've all got the different types of Biab, have all got different names, and they are literally a tinge of a difference in shade. Yeah. And it's like, oh, have you got Dolly on? And I'm like,
I love being asked, like, what colour of Biab do you want this time? And I look at them all and I'm like, I don't know. You can, like, I can see it in the bottle that they're different colours. Yeah. But like, I don't know how that's going to look against just whatever you think, you know best.
Yeah, you go wild on that. Because I'm like, I like to change it up. See if I get like a removal and then I go for a fresh set again, I'm like, oh, let's go for a different one that's not as if I'm going to notice a difference, because I'm personally not. Like, with peace and love, I'm not going to notice.
No. But no, colour theory, insane.
Like, start overlapping it and stuff, and it just makes a difference.
I saw a video the other day. Like, we're going wildly
what
off
I would do to sorry, because I've pure interrupted, but what I would do to experience being colourblind. Yeah. Because I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Just
or
for
like
a moment.
Dogs only seeing certain colours as well. Like, and I feel like they make dog toys in the colours that dogs can't see. Why have you done that? Yeah. Why have you done that? But yeah, I feel like going way off topic, but I saw TikTok, because chronically online, but of a girl making her perfect foundation shade, and she had like loads of like liquids, and it was like, I think it's hilarious because my face is quite red, so I have to paint my face green before I paint it white. But she was like, she put green on, she put red on, she put yellow on, and then I think she put purple, and she blended it all together, and it made the perfect foundation shape. And I was like, but how? Like, she was doing it in individual layers, and I'm like, how do you understand that? How do you know? I don't understand colour theory at all. No. Do you know what? The more that I think about colours, the more I'm like, it is wild that colours exist. Yeah. I really want to know now. I used to think the world was in black and white. What? Sorry, unpack that, please. Excuse me, elaborate. Well, you know how like when TVs were in black and white? Yeah. As a kid. Oh, in history. Right. Not right now. Right. But I thought, like, when I saw colour, like when I saw black and white TV, that like the world was just in black and white in those times. Right. I also thought that like all TV was live TV and all radio was live radio, so clearly I was not very educated as a child. Deary me. Like, I remember the buzz over the live episode of EastEnders when it was Bradley and Stacey and Bradley died. Yeah. Crazy episode. And I was like, what do you mean live? Is it not always live? And I don't want to know what... Did you think people lived in the TV as well? I knew that it was acting, but I just thought that it was all acted live. How I've ended up within the creative industries based on that is insane. That is quite fun. Yeah, I was convinced. Well, you're more educated. Fear that I should have never admitted that, because I don't know what year that episode came out, and I think I'm going to be alarmingly too old. I think you might be, because I feel like, if not being at academy, I was definitely in big ages of primary school.
Well, I'm going to move on from the colour submission. Thank you so much for that. But the more I think about it, the more I get worried about the weird things I thought as a child. So,
listen, we all had.
What's
all had
your
weird
submission, Rose?
So the submission that I got was about language and like ye olde sayings and how language has changed over time. Like I don't know, like how long ago, but like maybe like 200 odd years ago, they were talking like thy and thon and thee, and like how we use like ye olde sayings. When did that change? Like, was it just gradually over time?
Yeah.
But like, isn't it insane that we know that was the language then, but we don't have a clue what the language of the future is going to be?
I don't think this is correct. Research suggests... No, I'm not even going to say this out loud because I think it's wrong.
Say it. If this podcast is based on anything, it's unfounded. Just statements.
At one point they suggested that American English was closer to the original sounding English accent than what the English accent does now.
Really?
But hell, I don't think so. I think I might have made that up.
I think you might have as well. Maybe.
I'm going to have to actually research this one. So I will talk about it no more in case of embarrassing myself. I've already embarrassed myself this episode. I don't feel like doing it again. Already outed myself as a stumbling idiot. I don't think I want to then bring America and the UK into this and further damage my reputation, because some people might consider me intelligent. And I can't ruin that facade any more than I already am.
I see.
But I think that there is some sort of theories about what was the original English sounding accent.
Yeah. But I wonder, like, who was the last person to be like, doth compare thee, and...
But even if you think about, like, our language now and what we would say as kids compared to what we would say now,
yeah,
and how we would say it is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
like,
it is just, like, cultural and location. Like, you guys say weird stuff up here.
Like
that, like,
what?
we don't say down the road.
But so do you guys say...
You say loads of mental stuff that I'm like, I don't understand what it's just come out your mouth.
It's just different dialects.
You said something earlier and I was like, I'm not even going to question what that meant. And I have no idea what it was, but I went, I've heard that word in my life. Like, who was I was talking about Halloween to? And I was saying, down the road there's something called the Galoshians Festival, and they would call it Galoshians instead of Halloween. Like, my head teacher would be like, Galoshians, and they were like, I've never heard that term in my life.
No.
But then they were talking about guising instead of trick-or-treating, and I was like, I don't think I really know the word guising. Like, really? That wasn't really a term that I used.
Did you lot carve neeps back in the day?
What, turnips?
Yeah.
Instead of pumpkins?
Yeah.
No. What?
Oh, well, that's what people did. They went guising and they carved neeps.
Someone was talking about moving something about in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, so you would build like... Oh, no, this is... No.
Because I was...
No, I was away to move on to Guy Fawkes. They used to build Guy Fawkes and they would make a bonfire, and I'm sure they would put Guy Fawkes.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Someone was talking about it in relation to Halloween, and I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, but I just didn't ask any questions. But because we used to do like penny for the guy, or pound for the guy, and people would stand outside the shops with the guy, like Guy Fawkes, and you'd give them money, because they would always say to my dad, because my dad's a big guy, they'd be like, alright big man, penny for the guy, and then he would give money over, and then that was how they would get the stuff for the fire and the fireworks and stuff.
Right.
That unlocked a strange memory in my head I didn't know I had. I don't know where that came from in the fucking back office of my brain.
Yeah. But it is just two different dialects, though, I suppose.
But that's language, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is like... It is location based and cultural based, and like you go 20 minutes down the road in England and it's a different accent and a different dialect.
So like we know, like you hear represented in media, like English ye olde sayings, but like what was the ye olde sayings?
Do you think it's interesting during the war? I don't know how interested you are about World War II and World War One, but I am. And if you ever listen to like radio shows or TV shows, or you listen to TV shows when they first went from black and white to colour, and like the way that the accent sounded, I don't know anyone that sounds like that now compared to like, but is it that as media has grown and more people have had access to media and more people have had access to platforms, that it's not coming from a place of affluence, therefore those accents and those type of voices that we associate with the past get washed out because it's more like we have more access to diversity in it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, does that have an impact on it?
I would imagine so. But like, at what point, because I suppose now in that same vein, like, we're being far more influenced by like American, like Western stuff, that like we are pretty much surrounded by American media. We're getting like, we have access to like social platforms where we're seeing people from totally around the world. So whether before it would have been like your language would have been totally like based around your sort of like geographical like culture,
it's
sort
different
of
now.
But now it's like you're getting influence from everywhere. So what is that going to look like in 50 years time? Because this is like, we're sort of like Gen Z and millennials are probably the generations that have been most influenced by such a wide variety of...
Well, if you like speak to young people with autism, a lot of the time their accent's Americanized or Anglicized?
Yeah.
Anglicized, is that right?
Yeah.
Because the content that they're watching on TV is English, and it's that ecolalia thing of like they're then and that has a massive impact on their accent. And like obviously some people grow out of it and they then remain with a Scots accent, but like loads of people have said to me that people in Aberdeen sound like they've got an American twang to their accent and they sound American.
Really? I think certain people do. But
I don't really know when we like really made the transition, but I think it is just like gradual over time. Like people learn things from other cultures and then they bring that word over, or like
and it must
like
be
people
generational.
People started to explore more, so they started to get more information, and then because they've explored, then they bring up back these words to people, and like, so I'll start saying words in my family, I'll be like, oh, I don't know that word, but then all of a sudden they're saying it. Do you know what I mean? And it just becomes part of your vocabulary.
Absolutely.
Or like, I'll hear someone saying something, I'll be like, oh, I like how that sounds, I'm going to say that all the time. And then
that's going in my internal dictionary. But I can imagine there was people still like clinging on to the olden. But so I think that was quite interesting. It is interesting to see it evolve. I would, because there will be a time like that we don't have a clue what people are on about, and we're still clinging on to the language we talk about.
We're going to be like in our 80s still saying slay, baby. And the kids are going to be like, go
piss, girl, and you're home every 5 minutes, and because we don't have
the children of the era are going to be like, it's disgusting.
Like, should we move on?
So would you rather?
Yes.
Right, go on.
Right,
you go first.
Would you rather compete on...
No.
Yeah. You're competing whether you like it or not. You just have to choose one. Bake Off or MasterChef?
MasterChef.
Why?
Because I can't bake.
Can you cook to a really high level?
I could try. I can cook really well, I just can't present really well. So I think if I learned how to present really well, I would like knock it out the park.
Okay.
I'm deluded.
I would choose Bake Off because I feel like Bake Off is more lighthearted, because I would be terrible at both. But I would it's too high intensity in MasterChef. They expect you to be, but Bake Off's a little more silly goofy,
I suppose. Do you know the thing with Bake Off? I think that, see, with MasterChef, you're kind of left to create your dishes, get on with it. You've not got loads of presenters coming to talk to you, and you're just in that high pressure environment, but you're in your own world in that high pressure environment until you have to go into the kitchens and stuff. I think I would struggle with that. But with the Bake Off, there's so many people in that room with you. The presenters are in your face all the time. Like, I love Alison Hammond.
But it's like that in MasterChef as well.
Is it?
Yeah, you're all cooking in the same room.
Like, I don't feel like Greg and whoever is on MasterChef nowadays, because the only one I know is Greg.
John Turone.
Is it still John?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I feel like they don't come up and annoy you as much. They're not as in your face.
No, I think
as
they
much.
do come up to you though.
Like at the very beginning, I think they come up, but they're not like. They don't feel as intense as the Bake Off presenters and judges.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're much more invested in you as a person and less so invested in what you're baking.
Yeah.
Whereas MasterChef is interested in the food you're making.
Yeah. True. I think Paul Hollywood alone would terrify me.
And like, I could cope with the environment of I'm solely focused on the food. Do you know what I mean? The only focus is.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Bake Off, it's about your family life, and they're asking you and I'd be like, listen, I just want to bake a cake. I'd be like, can you please leave me alone? Like, I'm quite stressed.
Yeah.
And I think I would be very much like James Acaster.
I was just about to say I would full on go James Acaster.
Like, there is no world where I would not behave like James Acaster.
Yeah.
And James Acaster was going through a hard time.
He was.
I think even on my best day, I would behave worse than what James Acaster did. What did they say? Baked a cake, had a meltdown, bon appetit or something?
Yeah. Although, you might surprise yourself and go full James McAvoy though, because he like just went in there and flourished.
I don't know. I know I can't bake.
I can't bake. And
Never successfully made a brownie.
But not to like... do you know, I think what bothers me is that I feel like MasterChef, they're looking for, like, although Bake Off, they want you to come up with like flavour combinations and stuff. MasterChef are looking for you to make things that have never been like made before. You're looking to be making a dish that's unique. And
I think that I could really focus and research and like really get into the nitty and gritty of how to create a dish. Like, I think that I could, because I feel like that's the sole focus of MasterChef. Like, I could imagine, like, if I really pushed myself to learn all the skills, I could be a half decent amateur chef, like cook, not chef. I'm nowhere near a chef. My dishes look like poo-poo. I have a group chat where we send in our foods, and I am bottom tier on the presentation list, to the point where it's like, so my dishes, what I make is always good. Like, what it doesn't come into question of what I've made in terms of like the actual food. Like, I've got a pal that puts peas in almost every dish, and I'm what? If you watch this, what are you doing?
Peas
put peas in a macaroni.
Peas are a vegetable that are so wrong. Peas are wrong. I hate peas. No offense to you, I don't know you, but what are you doing? Peas are an abomination.
Yeah. So
sorry, I felt really bad.
I think that so I can't really remember where I was going with this, but anyway, presentation wise, bottom tier.
Yeah.
But I think that, see, if I knew I didn't have to do all the dishes, I didn't have all the, like, my sole focus was to create this perfect dish. I reckon I could like really push myself to do it.
Do you know what I think my main issue with both options is? That you only get one countertop of space, and that's just not going to work for me.
Like, it's
not going to work.
I would be too silly goofy on Bake Off, and I would lose my mind.
See, I don't think I would go far in the competition, but I think I would have more fun on Bake Off. I wouldn't do well, but I'd be like, laughing it up with Noel Fielding and Alison Hammond.
I don't think I would. I think I'd be like, get out my face. Because when I'm focused, on something, I don't want anyone coming near me. And I think them coming near me and distracting me and taking me off topic would then further stress. I can't stick to that.
Yeah.
What? Why are you asking me about my dead grandparents? I'm trying to bake pavlova. Like, what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, I think, what is it, the challenge in Bake Off that they don't know? And it's like, the instruction is make a creme pat. That would set me off. That would like actually destroy me.
I can't even understand when Alexa's trying to convert from millilitres to cups, and I've been making risotto wrong for months.
How are you going to make risotto? Like, how are you doing that in MasterChef?
But then, because I would have the right instructions down, wouldn't I? I wouldn't be going from millilitres to cups because I would have wrote it all down. I would have had time to practice. I would have zoned into it.
I just don't think I could go into a kitchen and have them shouting at me.
I could never work in a kitchen. I was a KP and it was genuinely awful because chefs are the meanest
They're
people.
Awful,
like they were lovely human beings, but they were awful. The second I didn't put a pager on a receipt and I come crawling into the kitchen with a pen, they'd be like, I forgot the pager. It was like, you're dead to me.
Pager?
Yeah, so we used to have like this system where you like we buzzy machines. We called them pagers. And you would assign a number, but like I forgot all the time. Or they would come out and this hasn't got a pager on it, and we'd all be trying to figure out what it was, and I'd be like, oh no. I watched a chef break a microwave because she was so hungover that she was raging. She just broke the microwave.
I don't miss working in kitchens, but like being like the one, like, have you ever watched The Bear? No. I
don't like getting shouted at.
No. I was always convinced working in a kitchen as well that this was an irrational fear, but I was always convinced that if anyone was going head first in the deep fat fryer, it was going to be me. Like, back to the topic of being clumsy, it was a tight space. Everyone would be rushing about, and I'm like, I'm definitely going to trip and go in there. So yeah, Bake Off for me.
Okay, fair. I like that we were different in that.
Yeah.
Okay, my would you rather is, would you rather be able to create a clone of yourself or a clone of one other person in your life?
I don't think the world needs two me's. But I don't know who I would clone.
I would clone myself because that version of myself would stay at home and tidy.
Yes. Never mind. I've gone back. Yes. Yeah. No, but what if they started plotting against you? Like, have you ever watched Us?
I suppose. Well, no, but...
No, because like, what if they were tired of being imprisoned and being forced to do slave labour?
Well, this is a part of it. Is it a clone that just gets to live their life authentically to them, except they look exactly like you? Do they have your memories in your brain, or do they just and your mannerisms? Like that, I would think that they are the exact version of you at the point that you are at. But that doesn't mean that they couldn't grow and develop to be another version of you.
I don't know if I would inflict that on somebody else.
Well, I think that I would need to break a deal, and I'd need to sit down with my clone self and be like, listen, I really struggle with all these tasks because I've got other things to do. So, like, could you do all the tasks?
And I will provide for you.
And I will provide for us. And, like, you can go out and go to the gym and go runs and be the different version of yourself that you want to be. But I'm asking you not to go and work and make sure that the flat is clean.
Yeah.
So that I can go and do all the things that I want to do.
But then I think if they started living a better life than me, I would be really jealous. Yeah, I'd be like, how dare you go out there and take all my personality traits and do it better.
Oh.
How dare you do that to me?
Maybe I'll clone someone else.
Yeah.
They would do better than me. Because maybe I would send them to work to make money.
Yeah.
I think that'd be harder to sell to myself. Oh,
yeah.
Zoe 2.0, could you go make all the money and I'll live my best. Maybe we would rotate or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, right.
Yeah, because like the minute you're feeling overwhelmed, you can just be like, right, this is my week at home.
Yeah. Could you go into work this week?
But then what if like you came into work the next week, right, and everyone was like, oh, you were on top form last week, that's the funniest we've ever heard you. You're not funny any other time.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've now put it
I feel like...
Because you put it in a scenario that I was contesting with myself.
Yeah.
I really put it as we are completely equals. And we both have the ability to do what we want to do.
Knowing my luck, this clone would show me up. And I would try my best not to be jealous, but I would be.
Phineas and Ferb did an episode where it was loads of clones, didn't they? That doesn't go well. I don't think.
It could either be they would be better than me in every way without trying, or it would be they would go full on us and be trying to like replace us.
Yeah, but I think if it's an exact version of me of who I am right now, I wouldn't try and do that to myself. So how far down the line do we get before they're like, I either like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That does society corrupt them because they now have their own version of their brain? Do they go get more therapy than I can
because
get?
although we're the same right now, if one of us is going out to work and one of us is staying at home, our brains are not continuing to develop in the same way. So it could be further down the line they totally go, actually, I'm not having this.
Well, on that note, you've changed my mind and I'm going to clone somebody else in my life.
But then if you clone someone else, it could be the same thing. But
they need to deal with that.
Yeah. Who would you clone?
Good question.
You could always save that until you've met someone that you're like, the world definitely needs
another one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this have time conditions? Can I save my cloning power?
I didn't think about time conditions on it. But it would, like if I could see someone that is just doing so much right for the world and they need a break, I'd be like, oh, do you know what?
Yeah.
Let's clone them.
Yeah.
You go to the Bahamas, they'll take over.
Yeah.
And you don't need, because part of me is like, I could clone myself, send that version of me to go live my life, and I could just take Astrid and go away.
Yeah.
But
would they not feel like they're getting a raw deal?
Maybe they want it.
Maybe.
I don't like my life.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. It would need to be a discussion with the clone.
Yeah. And it's one of those things as well. It's like you're bringing this clone into the world against.
How do they get a passport?
Yeah.
Do they
just share
go by the same
passport?
name? Like, if you clone yourself, are they then just an entity of you and they can't do anything unless...
Are you the only person that can clone people? Because if you have went out of your way to clone someone and nobody else can clone people, you would have to keep the clone a secret, because someone would take them a test on them, find out how you'd done it.
That's true. I feel like I don't know the answer anymore. I'm like a grumpy old man. This episode is just so worn away.
I feel like every time you come into these your own would you rathers with like with like a set idea of what you think, and then I'm just like, what about this? What about that? What about this? And then you're like, oh no, I don't know. I don't have a clue anymore.
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know.
I don't think I would clone myself. I think there's too many.
Yeah, no, you've really put me off cloning myself. I thought it would have been a really good deal, but you've put it off. I'm going to clone someone else. Do you know what? I might clone someone that I've met like once and just clone them just to see what happens and just see chaos. Just could be quite funny because I don't know them.
I think it would be really funny if you could clone a like celebrity, right? And just have them do like really out of pocket stuff, like, and in public, and like when people see it, like, you know how Ariana Grande like licked that donut,
that was a
and like cause scandal for them, but like really minor things, like not like horrible stuff where they're like gonna like properly be like prosecuted or something, but like minor stuff that would threaten a cancellation.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a wonder. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'll clone someone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I'll clone someone else because you've now terrified me that the clone would be better than me. Actually,
I just don't need someone to take my life experiences and make better choices.
Okay, so you're going to clone someone else, and you've convinced me to clone someone else because now I'm sad about the fact that my clone would hate me, kill me, or be better than me.
Okay. Apologies for ruining your ideal clone.
It's alright. Well, on that note, guys,
that's been Brains Unpicked.
That has been Brains Unpicked, episode 5. And we thank you again for listening, watching, anything that you may be doing, whether you're doing that actively or not actively and just putting it on mute. I know that that's what I do. If you have any submissions to Minor Inconveniences, Brains Unpicked, or Would You Rathers, feel free to send those in to our email, brainsunpicked@gmail.com, or on any of our social media, which is Brains Unpicked Pod. On that note, if you hated this episode, tell us. I feel like fighting someone today, so I want to know.
That might be my fault.
We have been chaos today, guys.
Like you don't even know.
And we're now going out after this, and it's just going to be, who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you didn't tune in, you didn't hear this anyway. So catch you later. Love you. Bye.